I'm here with Dan McMahon, our principal. Oh, Dan, what do you think of the first half?
You know what? I think that St. Mary's Riken, like almost every team in the league, plays unbelievably hard, and it's great to see the kids out tonight. I think our student section looks like they could be in the gallery at the Masters with some of the paisley outfits and the pastel colors down there.
We have a lot of different looks going on out there.
Now, we sure do.
I know a lot of our students know about Dan McMahon, the principal, and they've probably heard about Dan McMahon, the teacher. But what about Dan McMahon, the coach? You coached basketball for a while.
I did.
When was that?
I did. I coached for 5 years in the 80s, and I also coached 2 years of softball. But I actually coached our current basketball coach, Mike Jones.
Well, that's where I was going with this. You used to coach with Mike Hibbs.
I did.
So you were coaching, would have been probably in 1987.
That's right.
Now, this is Mike Hibbs' version of the story. So this is what I've been told.
Right.
That through tryouts, and one of the hardest things, I coached freshmen for a year, is picking the team.
Yes.
We got 80 to 100 guys trying out. Everybody's good, and you don't want to be that freshman coach that cut a player who then came back to become all-league or play for someone else.
Yeah.
So the tryouts were unbelievable. Evidently, there was a skinny kid, about 6'1", weighed about 140 pounds, was getting knocked all over the place. And you said, well, you know, I don't think this guy is going to have a chance to make it.
I did indeed. I recommended that possibly he be the very last guy on the team. And we had some really big guys. We had some really talented guys. And thank heavens I got overruled. I was the assistant coach.
Well, fortunately, Mike Hibbs, the voice of reason, you know, rational heads prevail, because the guy we're talking about, Mike Jones. Great year on the freshman team, and then just got better and better. He was an anchor on that undefeated team, the 1991 team that just went in the Hall of Fame. He went on, he played at Old Dominion, had a great year, played professionally, of course, is now back on the sidelines, and has got our program up where Morgan used to have it, which is great.
I agree.
That doesn't happen.
No,
that doesn't happen. Now, I think I remember around the same time that Morgan said to you, you know, Dan, your future here might be in administration. So what an important thing went on almost 30 years ago. 2 careers were launched.
That's right. You know, one thing I do remember about Mike as a player, you know the drill that you do. You put everybody in the lane and you give it to a kid to shoot a layup, and then you can practice your fast break and you can practice your setup on defense and everything. Mike Jones, even at that point, would take the ball and he would shoot left-handed. Everything he did was so focused, and certainly by the middle of that year, we recognized he was maybe the hardest worker on the team, and I think that carried over into the classroom, it carried over into his college career, and he's just been great for us.
Well, he went through that progression, which is great. You know, you look at a guy like Markel Fultz, same thing. Played on the freshman team, got a chance to develop, got a chance to make plays. Played on the JV as a sophomore and just got better and better. Mike started a little bit as a junior, but you know, almost say a token starter. And then as a senior, he got better and better. And we on that team was Wayne Simpkins, Vaughn Jones, Ted Ellis. We had some great players. And at the end, Mike was there with all of them.
Yes, he was. That was a terrific class. I'm not sure, you know, that class was not very big, as you know. I mean, I think the tallest kid might have been
Mike or Vaughn. Some of those guys coming off bench were a little bit bigger.
But I mean, we were talking, but I'm not sure I've ever seen a DeMatha team play better defense and better pressure, especially teams would start their offense one step across half court. Joe Wooten, Dwayne Simpkins, and all of them were interchangeable. Ted Ellis could come on. I mean, they could stop penetration. It was really a remarkable team. They played together.
As Morgan would say, they were always on the same page. And the things that we could do with them in terms of our normal stuff, and they just tweak it a little bit because they all communicated so well.
And you get to coach them as a JV team.
Well, that team, when they were freshmen, they were undefeated. I had them as a JV team, they were undefeated. Junior year, they won the championship, they weren't undefeated, but then senior, they were undefeated.
That's a remarkable
So I don't know if, in terms of going through that way, if we've ever had, you know, a class do it that way.
It's a really terrific. And, you know, Mike, we've been so fortunate with Mike. He really has extended Morgan's legacy. And when you think about following somebody like Morgan after all those years, I think about that with Coach Brooks following Coach McGregor.
Well, I'm sure you can identify it. You've been principal for, what, 15 years now?
16 years,
Okay, you stepped into some big shoes there with John Moylan.
Bill, I feel like in my case, it was really a matter of not goofing things up. I think that Mike and Elijah and Jim Roper and those guys, they have to keep going out and getting guys. I'm lucky. I had a lot of the staff that was here when John was here still with me, and boy, that's a remarkable gift.
And I think you were in a unique situation because when you became principal, some of the staff, the older staff, you had them as teachers.
Yes, I did. Yeah.
And then some of the staff, like myself, we were colleagues.
Yes.
You know, we were teaching together.
Right.
And then some of our newer staff were people that you had in class. So you really had them on all levels.
Yeah. You know, when I, first day of every year of school, I go to Joe Carroll's class and I sit in for a few minutes, and I go to Doug Shafali's class and sit in for a few minutes, because back in 1972, when I was a freshman, I sat in those classes, and that's still really a remarkable.
It's not because you owe him homework or anything.
I actually think I might in Joe's class. I was a pretty good student for Doug, but.
Now tell me about Dan, the student. You went to grade school where?
I went to grade school at St. Camillus, and I came over with a relatively good-sized class. In fact, the future valedictorian of DeMatha was in my class at St. Camillus.
Why DeMatha, though?
You know, at the time, John Moylan was so convincing. He came to visit, and he was really a compelling speaker, and DeMatha did the kinds of things that I try to do now. He had started a soccer program, and I played soccer, and no other Catholic League school played soccer, so it was a pretty easy. I played through my elementary school years, and that was a really attractive thing. My parents, my dad's Jesuit educated and thought maybe I might want to go to Gonzaga. They were very supportive when I came here. They're still incredibly supportive of
now, you left here. You graduated in '76, right?
Yep.
Okay. You went to Mount St. Mary's.
Yes.
At what point in college, after college, you decide, hey, I'm going back to Hyattsville?
You know, I was really lucky. When I had Buck, I don't think I thought particularly about coming back, but Buck Offit, as you know, is just a legend. And you and I knew him when he was a Giant. And just so he was so influential on me that even when I was in college, I was thinking, you know, I'd like to have a career like Buck. I'd like to find a way to work into a school like Dr. Offit. And so when I went to graduate school right after undergraduate, and I wanted to come back and get married, I sent out a bunch of resumes, and John Moylan called me up and said, will you come in and talk? So I did, and he said, first you got to talk to Dr. Offit. And I did. I went over. Buck was running his day camp. I went over and talked to him, and I drove home, and John called me and said, you're in. And it's been really a terrific. I've so many influential people in my life.
All right, Dan, we're running out of time. I got one last question.
Yeah.
Now, most of the time people know who you are in the area, you know, at church or whatever like that. But I'm sure at times you're in social settings, maybe Donna's working, something like that, and they don't know who you are. They come up. How cool is it when they ask you, what do you do for a living?
It's great. You get to say the best job in the world, right? I mean, you get to say, you know, I teach and work at DeMatha, and it doesn't get any better.
You can almost see their eyes light up.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a principal at, no reaction, DeMatha High School.
And that's what they want to talk about. Well, thanks so much, Mr. Murphy.
Thank you,
been
Dan.
wonderful.
This was great.
Love
this
catching
was great.
up.
I thought you might have struggled. I was going to help you too. But it seems like you're pretty good with the words, which is good.
Okay. All right. And I'm going to turn the game over to you.
Okay.
All righty. Thanks very much.
All right.
Bye.
Thanks, Dan. Bye.